And do you have like all the stuff I see it says Sam Woods? Is it is there like a band name you've got or an artist?
I go by Samwooddoowmas.
Dalmas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really stupid artist name, but I can.
No, that's right. Because I saw that kind of stuff, but I wonder if wasn't too sure if that was just because you couldn't get like Sam Wood under the.
No, I decided to go for it because I didn't have an artist name chosen out, and I think my Instagram had been that for like years because it's my name forwards and then backwards.
Yeah, right.
And I just thought I'd forget anything else because I'm scattered brained, and I just went with that. And I've got a much better name, which I might start releasing stuff under, but I haven't quite decided yet.
Yeah. Well, anyway, right. So, Sam, I'm just going to introduce you.
Yeah, no problem.
You're going to introduce yourself actually, and tell us about like what it is you've done here. So, Sam,
Sure.
tell us about yourself.
Hello, my name's Sam. I go by Samwooddoowmas, which is a ridiculous name, which I chose ages ago and now frankly regret.
No regrets.
It's really hard when people want to Google me. But yeah, basically I have been making electronic music now I've been making it for a very long time actually, but sort of gigging and recording seriously for about 2-3 years. I started like a lot of people during lockdowns, and it was just a really great way of entertaining myself. I tend to try and do some interesting things when I'm playing live. My most recent acquisition is this terrifying box of Doom, which I think this terrifies me. I don't know why it's not working.
I was scared to touch it when I was trying to set up the things in case I get electrocuted. That is.
It's
just horrible.
But yeah, you can.
No, definitely not. And the other thing that I was wondering about was I was going, is that actually interfering with all the sound?
I don't think it is.
It's so loud.
It is. It's terrifyingly loud. I've used it during like live gigs before, and it almost was louder than the PA system, which was a bit annoying actually.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I would like to use it, and I could cut it in to like visuals and all that. But it's
yeah,
so loud.
I mean that's what I was trying
like,
to do, but it's not quite worked properly.
If it was quiet instead of this pure.
My other kind of weird little
noise.
thing is this radio, which I like to generate noise with. I'm not sure if this is actually going to come through. Probably not. No, it's not coming through. But the radio is then going into this slicing pedal, and then I'm kind of playing with the parameters of that and basically making the static sound like a hi-hat. And then I've got kind of bunch of drum patterns which I've created and sliced up, which are kind of a bit more almost breakbeat but not quite. I like to take influences from kind of different parts of electronic music, everything from kind of your jungle to like noise to you know, I'm kind of all over the place. The other thing I do a lot of is sampling, so, and I don't mean sampling like taking a beat, I mean sampling as in taking a sound and then turning it into an instrument. So I've got this, which was working. It's now stopped working, which is basically it's someone playing a note on a double bass, which I've then kind of stretched out and pitched down. It's really nice for sort of ambient kind of bits. I'm looping some vocals through a delay. And that's sort of what I've done today. I do quite a lot of random stuff. For a long time I was lugging a bicycle around with me, and then I'd have the bicycle upside down. Right. And I'd put like a bass guitar underneath it. Right. And then the wheel would like bow, sort of like a giant hurdy-gurdy almost. And that was quite nice as well. That had a big drone. But it was a pain in the ass because I had to like then lug
a bike and
a bunch more things. So I try and travel light now if I can. But yeah, that's sort of my setup at the moment.
And so, how did you? I suppose what was your? How did you get into it? How did you start? Because did you not say you were in bands before? Or
I've played in bands for like yeah, I mean I've played in all sorts of bands, like metal band, an indie band, pop punk band. I've done bits of everything, but I've always loved electronic music. So when the kind of opportunity to make electronic stuff came along, you know, I just sort of winged it and just went for it. And I think, you know, it's just such a rewarding kind of pastime that it's sort of taken over my, my life entirely, and it's what I spend all of my time doing. But I wouldn't have it any other way. It's you know.
I find it quite de-stressing at times when everything's working. Just kind of.
Oh, for sure,
playing
yeah.
about
When you
with
get
bits
into
and
like a groove, there's nothing better.
So, what was your first bit of kit that you started with? Or if you have it here, or if you.
I don't have it here. No. I mean, do you know what? Weirdly, I've got this sort of 80s toy keyboard that my parents got me when I was a child, and it's just like a crappy Yamaha that I think they bought for like 30 quid at the time. I think it's now worth quite a bit of money, but it had an FM synth module in it.
Right, okay.
And I still use it. In fact, some of the samples I was using today, that comes from that Yamaha
Cool.
FM module that
Yeah.
I've then just taken it and turned it into a digital instrument. So that's probably one of the first. And then I think, you know, beyond that, getting a MIDI keyboard, I think if you want to get into electronic music, buy a cheap MIDI keyboard. Because, you know, there's so much you can do with that.
Yeah.
You know, even in terms of like, you know, as I was saying, just like putting in your own sound and creating an instrument.
Yeah.
And you've got something really, this is why I like sampling, is that a lot of synthesizers, especially if you're using kind of ones on indoors, a lot of synthesizers you can tell which preset it is and which synth it is, you know what I mean? Oh, it's an Alchemy preset, oh well, like, cool. Or like a, you know, what's the other famous one? I can't remember. But when you start playing with samplers and pitching your own sounds, you've got like it's a really quick way to just get a completely unique sound, which is going to be, you know, yours basically, unless someone rips your audio.
Yeah. Well.
Which feel free to do that if you want.
And you use Ableton mainly, is that what?
I started on Logic, and then I realized that doing live sets with Logic is an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
And so I started using Ableton. It just depends what your kind of preferences. I think if I was gonna compose, or if I was recording like a band, then I'd use Logic or even Pro Tools. But in terms of live stuff and doing electronic-y stuff, I think Ableton is just excellent. And you get a 90-day free trial. They don't even pay me to say that. They should. Ableton.
No sponsorship. Ableton, if
Pay
you want
me.
to sponsor 4 Track Nights, that would be good. Cool. And so, what's your favourite bit of kit?
Ooh. Do you know what? I think possibly this little Akai. You can use it as a sampler, but you can also then map all these little knobs to different parameters, which are kind of, most of them are controlling multiple things. So you can just like change the sound as you're playing. So for live stuff, it's just absolutely class.
So what's your, do you have a least favourite bit of kit?
Least favourite bit of kit? Ooh, least favourite bit of kit.
I know, it's
God,
a bit of
I've
an
not
odd
even
one,
thought about it. Probably my guitar, to be honest, which yeah, is a shame because it's probably the instrument that I'm most proficient in. But the neck warped because I put some stupidly heavy gauge strings on it.
Right.
And then I took it to get it fixed, and the guy broke the truss rod, so it kind of only plays up to the 12th fret, and anything beyond there just sounds like a fart. You kind of got to like, it's like real like yeah, it's a shame. So unfortunately, my guitar is my least favourite bit of kit.
So if you get any gigs or anything lined up?
I'm playing this Friday at Summer Hall, supporting Dragged Up and Amateur Cult. And then there's another gig the following month, I think, at Settlement Projects on Leith Walk. Check my social media for details because I've forgotten the date. But yeah, that should be good. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
Nice to meet you.
Glad you liked it.
Oh, it's great. Look at this.